I've set up the destruction of the player object in the same way as I have done with the enemy object. So I've created an explosion object. In the step event, I've created an explosion particle system. Let's just have a look at the sprite for that. So I've created a new sprite, explosion 2. Let's just show you that. So it's just a flashing indigo and purple circle, and it's centered. I've called it explosion 2 sprite. In the explosion step event, I've created the particle system, just as I have done with the explosion 1. I've changed the variables. I've called it explosion underscore 2. That's because explosion 2 exists as an object, and you can't have the same name in the particle system variable as an object. So I've put this underscore in. I've created part 3. The sprite type, the part type sprite, sorry, is explosion 2 underscore sprite. It's animated, it's random. And I've just changed some of the parameters in here to make it a bit different. But essentially it's set up in the same way as I did with the enemy explosion 1. So to this, I'm going to add an alarm, because what I want it to do is to explode for a set number of frames, and then I want it to restart the game because the player has died. So add event alarm 0. Let's put a bit of code in there. So instance destroy. So the object will no longer exist. And I'm going to use this function called room restart. So if you're going to sort of take this further, then what would happen is the room would change to the game over screen or something like that. But for this test, we're just going to restart the game. I also need to create a create event to initialize the alarm. So alarm 0, and this is how long I want the explosion to last. So 2 seconds, let's say it's 60. And I'm also going to play a sound. So audio play sound. I've made a new sound called Blast 2. And then I need to do some code in the player object step event to test whether the shield has reached 0 and to destroy the player, or in this instance change the player object into the explosion 2 object. So I'm just going to create a new bit of code, give it the hint destroyed. So if the global variable shield is less than or equals 0, then all the way around, change. I want it changed to explosion 2 and perform the events in that object. And I also need it to destroy the jet object as well, the thing that's making that vapor trail. And the way I do that, so to access another object within this bit of code, I'm just going to put tab in just to separate these things out so you can see how it works. You use the function with and the object you want to do it with, so the jet object, and then in the curly brackets what you want to do with that object. So I want to destroy it, instance destroy. If I don't do this, then the player will change into the explosion object, but the jet will still exist and be kind of flaring out the back, so I want to get rid of that as well. And I need to close the brackets on that if statement. Okay, so basically what I've got is like a nested with statement inside this. This is quite an important function. You'll find yourself kind of using this when you start to program more complicated things. Okay, so we'll just have a look at that again. So if the global shield variable is less than nothing, then change into the explosion object and also destroy the jet object. Okay, so let's test that out. Yay, that's working. There's a little bit of a glitch there where the bullets are kind of just floating around in space after the player's died, but that can be sorted out with a little bit of code, but we'll deal with that later. But that's working for now.